How many snaps did they run in the 14 personnel?
That's only for us.
100% of the snaps.
Welcome into 14P Fantasy. I am your host, Justin Wright. Today we are talking 5 moves to make in Week 13. 2 weeks left in the fantasy regular season. You know, it's do or die time. This is when you have to get a win. You have to avoid those losses to either make the playoffs or not get bounced if you're already in the playoffs. Before we get into it, though, again, we did have a giveaway. It ended yesterday. Those 2 winners have been announced on a post on YouTube and a tweet over on Twitter. It is Dave Kluge and Dylan Geider. Congratulations to both of you. If you did not win, stay subscribed. We have another giveaway coming up for the NFL playoffs. You will automatically be entered if you remain subscribed to the channel and you don't keep watching 14P content. Little hint, it is a rookie wide receiver. It is their college jersey, and it is a signed college jersey. Do with that what you will. He's a breakout guy. It's a sweet jersey. Just be prepared for that one. Let's get into it, though. Again, you know, if you guys have questions, drop them below. We'll answer everything we can. Subscribe to the channel, like it, do all the YouTube things. First move, we have add Kene Nwangwu. And yes, that is how you pronounce it. I had to Google it because, I mean, of course I did. But Kene Nwangwu, now that he is, you know, fully a part of this Minnesota Vikings team, with Dalvin Cook down, he's going to have some flex appeal. Yes, Alexander Mattison is the RB1 there. I'm not saying he's going to supplant him. However, I don't think Mattison runs away with the job like he did when Dalvin Cook was down earlier and Kene Nwangwu was inactive. You know, obviously he wasn't healthy. He was still coming back from injury, whatever. I do think this maybe ends up being closer to a 60-40 split, 65-35. And Nwangwu with the passing chops, the big playability, obviously he already has 2 return touchdowns on the season, which is in today's NFL is spectacular. He has that home run ability. And, you know, heaven forbid anything happens to Alexander Mattison, Nwangwu enters potentially, you know, high-end RB2 territory as, you know, the rare third handcuff or second handcuff in an offense. But even without it, Nwangwu has the ability to house any touch 24/7. His role is going to expand on offense the next couple of weeks here. Add him now as we get close to the end of the year, you know, with running backs dropping, you know, Zach Moss, healthy scratch. Christian McCaffrey out for the year. Dalvin Cook to miss some time. DeAndre Swift most likely missing time as well. Things are going to get weird. Load up on running backs. With that being said, move number 2 is actually add Matt Breida. I just mentioned it. Zach Moss was inactive last week. And if you were following me over on Twitter, I kind of made a joke. I go, naturally, you know, the answer of Devin Singletary or Zach Moss was Matt Breida. And kind of becoming true. Devin Singletary still led them in touches last week. Don't get me wrong. You know, 16 touches. Breida had 11. His touches have increased 3 straight weeks since he's been active. He has scored now multiple times. And we've seen Matt Breida be very fantasy relevant before. You know, again, when he was over with the 49ers. Matt Breida right now looks like an every week flex. 11 touches last week. And again, it seems like that is increasing. He is playing as well as Devin Singletary. Zach Moss has been, you know, relegated to nothingness, it seems like. Go add Matt Breida. And again, obviously, I don't have the 2 obvious names here, you know, Jamal Williams, Chuba Hubbard, if he's somehow available, you know, even Amir Abdullah. Those are guys that need to be added, should be owned. Abdullah especially, he actually outsnapped Chuba Hubbard, so keep that in mind. But Matt Breida and even Kene Nwangwu are 2 guys that are maybe flying a bit under the radar that you know, if you miss out on the top guys there, can provide solid depth moving forward. Again, do I think either of them are going to be RB1s? No. But if you're looking for flex level players, potentially back end RB2s, these are the guys you got to take a shot on, especially if you've lost some of those big names, you know, like we've seen the last couple of weeks here. So running back is getting gross. It's always gross. You got to fill those gaps where you can. Moving on. This seems counterintuitive, but cut Jeff Wilson, a running back here that has had value this year last week, and he, you know, should have caught a touchdown and whatever. But Elijah Mitchell is back. When Elijah Mitchell is active, Jeff Wilson is borderline irrelevant. Last week, Jeff Wilson saw 3 touches. Elijah Mitchell saw 31. I mean, he really had 33 opportunities, 6 targets in the passing game, which is where Jeff Wilson was supposed to beat him out. It's not happening. Shanahan is in love with Elijah Mitchell. We have been pounding the table for him, for well over a month now, saying Elijah Mitchell is going to be a league winner. And as long as he is healthy, that is exactly what he looks like he's going to turn into. Yes, I understand, Deebo Samuel's hurt. He's going to miss 1 to 2 weeks. Okay, that's fine. Are you really going to roster Jeff Wilson in hopes that maybe Elijah Mitchell goes down and then it's Jeff Wilson's backfield? Jeff Wilson's the RB3 here, and I don't think he's really that good at this point in his career. Perfectly fine back, but for fantasy, I'm just not interested. When Deebo Samuel's back, Jeff Wilson becomes even more irrelevant. Get rid of him now. He doesn't have the explosive plays, so it's not the same argument as Kene Nwangwu, who is, the third string back in an offense that is now elevated. He doesn't have that big playability, it seems. Move on from Jeff Wilson now. It's just, I think, the right thing to do. And now we move into quarterbacks here. We got 2 starts of the week here for QB. Start Tua Tagovailoa. Tua has been solid. Has he been otherworldly since coming back from injury? No, not really. But if you go back to week 6 on and you include the half game he played against Baltimore, he is a top 12 QB in points per game. That is what you're looking for. And yes, I get the Giants just stifle Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is not a good quarterback. He's just not. A lot of bad decisions. We saw the goal line play. It was a joke. Tua is a better QB than he is. Jalen Waddle is better than anybody at all on the Giants right now. Tua is a solid bet, I think, to finish as a top 12 quarterback. Again, I'm not starting him over the elite names. Let's not get crazy. But as a streamer, Tua is a very viable play this week. Moving on to our last play here. And if you've seen the report, we all know Taysom Hill is now taking first-team reps. After he got that weird, insane hybrid contract, they now have to actually pay him for it. Taysom Hill is getting first-team reps, and it looks like he's going to be the starter after Trevor Siemian has just not been able to get it done, for NFL standards. He hasn't been able to win games. If Taysom Hill is announced as the starter, you are adding Taysom Hill, you are starting Taysom Hill. Last year, we saw it. A QB1 in 3 or 4 games, over 20 points in 3 or 4 games. Taysom Hill is Jalen Hurts. He's white Jalen Hurts. I don't care how you want to spin it. He's a runner. He's not really a passer. But for fantasy, I don't care. He's going to provide you a extremely high rushing floor. It looks like Alvin Kamara is coming back. He is limited on Monday. That's huge. That is enormous for this offense as a whole. Getting a weapon like Taysom Hill in there, maybe getting Kamara back to help move the ball. Taysom Hill, if he's active and starting, is most likely a top, 7 or 8 quarterback. Maybe higher. I'm just being a little bit conservative. If he's out there, you go and add him, and you start him immediately as long as you're not playing like a Justin Herbert, a Lamar Jackson, Mahomes, the obvious names. That is how much I believe in Taysom Hill moving forward, really rest of season. All right, guys, that is all we have. 5 easy moves to make. Go out. Again, this is when you got to make those moves to win your league, to make the playoffs. And from there, anything can happen. You just got to get to the playoffs. That's the whole goal here, guys. All right, as always, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow me over on Twitter at Justin_14P. You can keep up to date with just thoughts about fantasy coming from me throughout the week. All right, everybody. As always, thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.
How many snaps did they run in the 14 personnel?
That's only for us.
100% of the snaps.